Hey there, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something different. It's personal, subtle, and let's be honest, kind of thrilling. You know that feeling when someone's attention lingers just a second too long, or when they say something small, but it hits you like it meant so much more? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on something that's usually kept behind closed doors. This isn't about casual interest, not about she likes you. Nah, this is deeper. We're talking about when a woman is secretly obsessed, not in a creepy movie way, but the kind of obsession where her thoughts keep drifting to you, even when she doesn't want them to. Now here's the wild part. Most people won't ever tell you this directly, and she probably doesn't even fully realize she's doing it. But her behavior, her unconscious automatic behavior, tells the truth. And if you know what to look for, if you understand how psychology works underneath the surface, you'll start to notice the signs. Two specific tells, two patterns of behavior that, when you catch them, say everything she won't say out loud. So, grab your drink, get comfortable, and let's break it down. Before we get into these tells, I want you to think back for a moment. Think about someone who seemed interested in you, but not in a direct, flirty way. It was something in the way they acted around you. Something off, but kind of magnetic. Maybe she laughed at things you didn't even think were that funny. Maybe she remembered weird little details about you. Your coffee order, your dog's name, that random thing you said 3 weeks ago. That's not random, it's not an accident. See, the brain does something strange when it's emotionally invested. It begins filtering out everything else and tuning into just one signal, yours. That's what obsession really is. It's not just wanting someone, it's attention on repeat. It's mental real estate that you didn't even ask for, but now you're living in it rent-free. And here's where the first tell starts to show itself. It's what psychologists call micro-investments. It sounds technical, but it's actually simple. A woman who's secretly obsessed with you will find ways, tiny, almost invisible ways, to invest herself into your life. Not big gestures, not texting you every hour, that's too obvious. We're talking about subtle acts that look like nothing on the surface, but underneath, they're layered with intent. Let me give you an example. She hears you talking about a show you like, and the next time you talk, suddenly she's seen it. She casually drops a reference to it. Oh yeah, I saw that episode. You were right, it was wild. She acts like it's no big deal. But here's the truth. She watched that episode because you mentioned it. Not because it was trending, not because she was curious, but because something about you made her curious. That's a micro-investment. She's spending time, mental energy, even emotions, without directly asking for anything in return. Why? Because her brain is trying to get closer to you without making it obvious. That's how obsession hides in plain sight. And it doesn't stop with interests. If she starts changing her schedule, happening to show up at places she knows, you'll be, or conveniently, running into you more often than makes sense. That's not coincidence, that's proximity attraction, and it's incredibly revealing. Her brain is pushing her to be around you, even if she pretends like it's nothing. Now I want you to notice something important here. Obsession doesn't always look loud. In fact, it's usually the opposite. When someone's really into you, like Loki can't stop thinking about you, it often shows up in these quiet background ways. You almost miss them unless you know what to look for. And that brings us to the second tell, one that's even more revealing than the first. Emotional mirroring. It's one of the deepest, most unconscious signs of psychological connection. And when a woman is secretly obsessed, this kind of mirroring starts showing up in ways she doesn't even realize. Not just copying how you talk or your sense of humor, that's surface level. We're talking emotional responses syncing up with yours. When you're excited, she lights up, sometimes more than the situation calls for. When you're frustrated, she gets quiet, supportive, not out of empathy, but because your emotional state directly affects hers. That's when you know it's gone past interest. That's when the emotional bond, whether acknowledged or not, is running deep. Let me show you what this looks like. Say you're telling a story, maybe something that upset you or something that made you feel proud. Watch how she reacts. Not just her words. Watch her eyes, her body language, her breathing. If she's locked in, if her emotional energy shifts with yours, that's not just connection. That's obsession, quietly whispering its presence through her mirror neurons. Now, this isn't manipulation. You're not trying to trick anyone. This is about awareness, about understanding the depth of human emotion and attention. Because obsession isn't a choice, it's a loop. The more she thinks about you, the harder it is for her not to. And once that loop is running, her behavior starts revealing things even her conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. Here's the beautiful thing about this. It's not about power, it's not about control, it's about clarity, knowing when someone is really feeling something deeper, even if they're trying to play it cool. We live in a world where people guard their emotions so tightly, afraid to be vulnerable, but these tells, they slip through. They're raw, unfiltered, honest, and if you know how to read them, you start seeing a different story, one that's playing underneath the surface of what people say out loud. Now look, obsession can be beautiful. It can mean someone sees you, is rare, irreplaceable. It can also be messy if it's unbalanced. So I'm not saying chase after obsession, I'm saying recognize it. So you don't get played or overlook someone who might actually be all in on you. And if you're wondering, why would she hide it? Why not just say something? Think about it. Vulnerability is terrifying, especially when the stakes feel high. If she's truly obsessed, if her thoughts are wrapped around you in that deep psychological way, she's going to protect that. She's going to guard it, because to her the idea of you knowing and not feeling the same way, that's the scariest thing of all. So instead, she gives you these behavioral clues, the micro-investments, the emotional mirroring. She hopes you'll notice, but not too quickly. She hopes you'll feel it before you even realize what it is. That's the game underneath the game, and now you're in on it. As we wrap up, I want you to remember this. Human behavior is a language, and obsession is a dialect most people don't understand. But once you do, you can hear it loud and clear. You'll start seeing things you missed before. You'll spot the patterns, the slips, the nervous energy, and maybe, just maybe, you'll realize that someone you thought was just being nice is actually thinking about you way more than she lets on. So pay attention, not to what she says, but what she does when she thinks no one is watching. That's where the truth lives. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe. We've got more deep dives into the psychology of relationships, attraction, and human behavior coming your way. And hey, if someone popped into your head while you were watching this, maybe that's worth looking into. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.